Welcome back. Objective 4.8 Incident Response Activities. The structured discipline of handling security incidents, from preparation through lessons learned, and the digital forensics that has to happen alongside it without breaking chain of custody. This is one of the most heavily tested objectives on the exam, and it is the one where careers are made or ended on the night the call comes in. Picture this: 11 p.m. Tuesday. The on-call phone rings. The voice on the other end is the help desk supervisor, and her tone tells you this is not a routine call. 5 users have called in the last 20 minutes saying they cannot open their files. The files have new extensions, the shared drive will not load. The first user reported it 90 minutes ago, and the ticket sat in the queue. By the time you get to your laptop and VPN in, 60 more endpoints are showing the same symptoms. Ransomware, active, spreading. The CEO is awake. The legal team is awake. Insurance is on the line in 15 minutes. The forensic investigator from the IR retainer is en route. Anyone who has been first responder to a ransomware call knows the next 4 hours are the difference between a manageable incident and a quarter-ending event. The IR plan you wrote in calmer times is the only thing that saves you. Today, we walk through that plan, the life cycle phases, and the forensic procedures that keep your evidence admissible. Start with the life cycle. PICERL. Preparation, identification, containment, eradication, recovery, lessons learned. Memorize this acronym. The exam will hand you a scenario from any phase and ask which step comes next. You also need to know the alternative, NIST SP 800-61 framework. 4 phases: preparation, detection and analysis, containment, eradication and recovery, post-incident activity, which is lessons learned. The exam may use either framework, both are correct. PICERL is the more granular version. Phase 1. Preparation. Everything you do before the incident happens. The IR plan, written and approved. The CSIRT, Computer Security Incident Response Team, designated with defined roles and call trees. Incident Severity Classification, P1 critical through P4 informational, with response times tied to each tier. Communication plan, who to notify and when. Legal, HR, executives, law enforcement, regulators, public relations, customers if disclosure is required. Tools, forensic workstations, write blockers, forensic software like FTK and autopsy, network capture tools, jump bags pre-stage for the on-call analyst. Legal agreements, outside counsel on retainer, law enforcement contacts established before you need them, the FBI or Secret Service for jurisdictional cybercrime, the cyber insurance carrier's hotline, evidence handling procedures, chain of custody forms, evidence bags, tamper evidence seals. The cost of a bad preparation phase is paid during the incident and scrambling to find the things you should already have. Anyone who has lived through an incident without a current call tree knows the second worst feeling in security is realizing nobody knows the CISO's personal cell number at 1 a.m. Update the call tree quarterly, run the tabletop annually, keep the jump bag stocked. Phase 2. Identification, detection, sources, SIEM alerts, EDR alerts, user reports, threat intelligence, external notifications from law enforcement or the ISAC, ransom notes appearing on screens. The first signal of an incident is often the unusual one. The user who calls in saying their files have a new extension, the third party who notifies you of a credential dump containing your domain, the vendor who saw your data in a forum. Triage. Is this a true positive? What systems are affected? What data is at risk? Incident declaration. Formally declare the incident and activate the IR plan. Scope determination. Identify all affected systems, users, and data. Severity assessment. Minor incident or major breach. The exam will ask what comes after detection, and the answer is triage, then declaration, then scope. Phase 3. Containment. Stop the spread. 2 flavors. Short-term containment. Immediate action to stop the bleeding right now. Isolate the affected system from the network. Block the attacker's IP at the firewall. Disable the compromised account. Pull VPN access. The goal is to stop the spread within minutes. Long-term containment. A more stable solution that can be maintained while eradication is prepared. Temporary network segmentation. Monitoring the compromised system in an isolated VLAN. may continue for days or weeks while thorough eradication is planned. Key principle: containment must balance stopping the attack with preserving evidence. Yank the network cable too quickly and you may lose volatile evidence in memory, running processes, network connections, decrypted credentials. Wait too long and the attacker spreads further. The judgment call is the analyst's job and the call is documented. The order: containment before eradication, never the other way around. Phase 4: eradication. Remove the threat. Scan and clean all affected systems. Close the initial access vector. Patch the exploited vulnerability. Fix the misconfiguration. Disable the abused account. Rotate exposed credentials. Remove attacker footholds, backdoors, scheduled tasks, rogue user accounts, persistence mechanisms hiding in registry run keys, WMI subscriptions, scheduled tasks that survive reboot, rogue services with innocuous names, kernel rootkits. Rebuild if necessary. If a system cannot be fully cleaned, reimage from a known good baseline. Most modern incident response leans toward rebuild over clean for any compromised system, because cleaning leaves doubt. Verify clean. Use forensic tools to confirm the threat is fully removed. The temptation in eradication is to declare victory too early. Resist it. The thing you missed on day 1 is the thing the attacker uses on day 15 to come back. Phase 5. Recovery. Restore systems to production. Restore from clean backup or reimage from gold image. Verify integrity. Confirm systems are operating correctly before returning to production. Run baseline scans. Validate that the patches and hardening from eradication are in place. Monitor closely. Watch for signs of reinfection or attacker return for 30 to 90 days, with extra detection rules tuned for the specific IOCs from this incident. Return to production in phases. High criticality systems last, after lower criticality systems have been observed in production without incident. Force credential resets for all potentially compromised accounts, plus any accounts that touch the compromised systems during the incident. The exam mantra: eradication must be complete before recovery. Returning a still compromised system to production is worse than slow recovery because you reseed the attack. Phase 6. Lessons learned. Post-incident review. Held within 2 weeks of incident closure while memory is fresh. Produces a post-incident report called PIR. Topics: what happened, timeline, root cause, what was done well, what should improve, action items with owners and due dates. Action items feed back into the IR plan, tool purchases, training, policy changes, detection, rule updates. Non-punitive culture: the goal is learning, not blame. The blameless postmortem is what makes people willing to disclose what they really did wrong, which is what makes the lessons real. Anyone who has sat through a punitive postmortem knows the attendees stop telling the truth and the lessons stop being learned. Skip lessons learned and the next incident looks exactly like this one. Training and testing. 6 types ranked by realism. Number 1, security awareness training. General education for all employees, no real systems. Number 2, role-based training, specific to job function, analyst, developer, executive. No real systems. Number 3, tabletop exercise, discussion-based scenario walkthrough, no systems involved. Tabletops test decision-making and communication, cheapest and safest. Number 4, simulation, realistic scenario test, may involve actual tools and responses, more realistic, more expensive. Number 5, red team versus blue team, adversarial test. Red attacks, blue defends. Test the actual technical procedures and detection. Number 6, purple team. Red and blue work together to improve both offense and defense. The exam mantra: tabletop equals discussion only. Simulation equals controlled real systems. Red versus blue equals adversarial. Root cause analysis. Goal: identify the underlying cause, not just the symptoms. 2 methods. 5 whys. Ask why repeatedly until root cause is found. Example: ransomware encrypted files. Why? Phishing email executed. Why? User clicked link. Why? No security awareness training. Why? Training program not funded. Root cause: lack of investment in training. The encrypted files are a symptom. The unfunded training program is the cause. Fishbone diagram, also called Ishikawa. Visual cause and effect analysis with categories like people, process, technology, environment. The exam may name either. Five Whys is conversational. Fishbone is visual. Threat hunting. Proactive search for threats that have not yet been detected by automated tools. The assumption is, we have already been compromised. Where is the threat hiding? This is the opposite of reactive monitoring. Reactive monitoring waits for an alert. Threat hunting goes looking. Two hunt types. IOC-based. Search for known indicators, IP addresses, file hashes, domain names, registry keys. TTP-based. Search for attacker techniques based on threat intelligence, often MITRE, ATT, and CK. TTP stands for tactics, techniques, and procedures. Hunting process. 1. Hypothesis. Form a theory about where a threat might be, like APT groups use POWER shell for lateral movement. Let me look for unusual POWER shell activity. 2. Hunt. Search SIEM, EDR telemetry, logs for evidence. 3. Discover. Find or rule out the threat. 4. Improve. If found, respond. Always feed findings back into detection rules so the hunt becomes automated next time. The hunt is one time. The detection rule is forever. Now the part where most people lose points, digital forensics. Core principles. Preserve original evidence. Never work on the original media, always use a forensic copy. Chain of custody. Document every person who handled evidence, when and why. Write blockers. Hardware or software device that prevents any writes to evidence media. A hardware write blocker physically intercepts SATA or USB writes and only passes reads, so even if the forensic workstation tries to write to the evidence drive, nothing reaches it. Forensic copy, also called forensic image, bit-for-bit copy of storage media, captures deleted files, slack space, file system metadata, unallocated space. A regular file copy gets the visible files. A forensic image gets everything on the platter. The exam mantra: original evidence is never touched. The forensic copy is what you analyze. The original goes back into the evidence locker, sealed, with chain of custody intact. Evidence acquisition process. 8 steps. 1. Legal hold. Suspend normal deletion and retention policies. Preserve all potentially relevant data. 2. Identify. Determine what evidence exists and where, including endpoints, servers, cloud storage, mobile devices, and backups. 3. Collect. Acquire forensic image using write block tools, FTK Imager, the Linux DD command. Order of volatility matters. Capture RAM before disk, network state before files, because volatile evidence disappears when the system reboots. 4. Verify. Hash the original and the copy with MD5 or SHA-256. Hashes must match. The hash is what proves the copy is identical to the original. If the hashes do not match, the copy is invalid and you start over. 5. Store. Secure evidence with tamper-evident controls. Document storage location, evidence locker with limited access. 6. Analyze. Work only on the forensic copy. 7. Report. Document findings in court-admissible format, full methodology, and tool versions. 8. Present. Testify or provide findings to the legal team. Forensic tools the exam will name. FTK Imager. Acquires forensic images, free, widely used. Autopsy. Open source forensic analysis platform. The Linux DD command, command line disk imaging. The syntax is ddif /dev/sda of /forensic/image.dd. Volatility. Memory forensics analysis framework used to analyze RAM dumps. Wireshark. Packet capture analysis. EnCase, commercial forensic suite, court accepted, the gold standard for legal proceedings. Chain of custody, the single most tested forensic concept. Documents every transfer of evidence, from acquisition to courtroom. Includes who collected it, date and time, condition, who transported it, storage location, and signature at every handoff. Any break in chain of custody can make the evidence inadmissible in court. One sloppy handoff and the entire case is at risk. Tamper-evident bags, evidence seals, secure storage, signed transfer logs at every step. The exam will hand you a scenario where someone left evidence in an unlocked office for an hour. That scenario describes a broken chain of custody. The evidence may be inadmissible. The fix is process discipline. Every move is logged, every seal is checked, every signature is witnessed. Legal hold. Suspends normal data retention and deletion policies when litigation is anticipated. All potentially relevant data must be preserved, even if normally scheduled for deletion. Failure to preserve is called spoliation, the destruction of evidence, and it is a serious legal consequence. IT receives the legal hold notice from the legal team. Must implement immediately. The exam may use the word spoliation specifically. Know it. EDISCOVERY. Electronic discovery. The legal process of producing electronic evidence in litigation. Tools, relativity, NUIX, logical. Process. Identify, preserve under legal hold. Collect. Process, review, produce. E-discovery and forensics overlap, but they are not the same. Forensics is investigative. E-discovery is the legal production of relevant documents. Quick recap, organized as a 6-phase IR program. 1. Preparation. Plan, team, tools, legal contracts, evidence procedures. 2. Identification. Detect, triage, declare, scope, assess severity. 3. Containment. Short-term, then long-term. Balance speed against evidence preservation. 4. Eradication. Remove malware, close access vector, eliminate footholds, rebuild if needed. 5. Recovery. Restore from clean backup, monitor, return in phases, force credential resets. 6. Lessons learned. Postmortem within 2 weeks, blameless culture, action items feed back into the program. And alongside all of it, chain of custody on every piece of evidence, write blockers on every acquisition, hash verification on every copy, legal hold the moment litigation is anticipated. One more set of exam mantras to lock in. PICERL in order. Containment before eradication, eradication before recovery. Lessons learned within 2 weeks. Chain of custody on every piece of evidence. Forensic copy is what you analyze, original is what you preserve. Hash with MD5 or SHA-256. Write blockers prevent any writes during acquisition. Legal hold suspends deletion the moment litigation is anticipated. Spoliation is destruction of evidence. Tabletop is discussion only. Simulation is controlled real systems. Red versus blue is adversarial. 5 whys gets you to root cause. Threat hunting is proactive. That is objective 4.8. The 11 p.m. ransomware call in our cold open is survivable if you have the IR plan, the team, the tools, and the discipline to follow the life cycle. PICERL is not a buzzword, it is a survival sequence. Skip a phase and you pay for it later. Next up, objective 4.9, investigation data sources. We are going to talk about the log line that solved the case and the data sources you need to know cold. See you there.